The coverage of Donald Trump is suddenly starting to change. Now, it's not because he met with Henry Kissinger. It's not because he released a list of 11 potential Supreme Court nominees. It's not because he attacked the New York Times over the stories on women. It's because of polls. And, you know, I always talk about polls and how journalists are addicted to them and we overemphasize them and they're snapshots and they can change. And all of that is true. Every once in a while, there's a poll or two, though, that changes the perception of a candidate. And that can influence the news coverage big time. That's what's happening right now. There was a poll a few days ago showing in a general election, Donald Trump, who many Republicans feared would get clobbered in the fall, was only trailing Hillary Clinton by 3 points. And then came the Fox News poll showing Trump ahead of Clinton by 3 points. And that's within a margin of error. It means it's essentially a tie. But think about what that means. It means a woman who has been in the public eye for 25 years as First Lady, as Senator, as Secretary of State, as the Democratic nominee, as the wife of a former president, is running neck and neck with a non-politician who's never run for office before, who's a billionaire with some baggage, who said a bunch of divisive things, and who the never Trump crowd within the Republican Party said, we can't nominate this guy because he will get killed. Now, this could change 50 times. I remember vividly, it was in June of 1988 when Michael Dukakis was up in one poll 17 points over George H.W. Bush. We know how that turned out. Let's drill down a little bit on this Fox News poll. All right, 45-42 in favor of Trump. Clinton's ahead by 14 points among women. Trump's ahead by 22 points among men. Talk about a gender gap. And then you've got Trump preferred by 24 points among whites. He's even ahead among white women. Remember everybody, all the pundits saying, you know, women don't like the guy because of all the things he has said over the years. But Hillary's got an 83-point lead among African-American voters. There's the Obama coalition, and 39 points among Hispanics. Party unity is about the same. 82% of Republicans backing Trump, 83% of Democrats backing Clinton. That means that for all of the civil war that's been going on in the GOP and all of the coverage, Republicans are starting to come home, some of them reluctantly, with Donald Trump as the nominee. Now, they're both pretty unpopular. And when you get down to the honesty and trustworthy question, let's see, Clinton is at a new low, 31% say she's honest, 66% say she isn't. Donald Trump, 40% think he's honest, and 57% think he's not. That's not great either, but it's better than Hillary. And so as we continue to read about how there could be trouble in Cleveland, and there's still a Never Trump faction that wants to deny him the nomination, and Bill Kristol and others are trying to find a conservative to mount a third-party bid against Donald Trump, you're starting to see the mainstream media, which so egregiously and repeatedly misunderestimated, to use that famous Bush malapropism, Trump in the primaries, take him more seriously as a general election candidate, because the thought was it would take months for him to make up this ground against Hillary and to repair his image and his weaknesses among some of these groups, which he knows he has to do. Now, all this could change in a week, in a month, after the convention, during the debates, but it is just one of these mileposts that, for now at least, has kind of forced the mainstream press to treat Donald Trump with a little more respect.